Hi, everybody. I'm here at Insite, and this is Darwin. He's the floor manager,
Yes, sir.
and you've been here for how long?
Long time, 10 years. We've been open 11 years. I started a year after it opened.
Oh my gosh. Insight is one of my favorite places. This is my second time here, but the first time that I'm doing an interview actually in Insight. The injection booths are right behind this window. If you don't know what Insight is, probably the term is harm reduction model supervised injection facility. I personally, after spending the last hour or two with you, think it's much more relational. I think it's it's not about getting somebody through the system. It's more like being present with somebody where they're at.
That's absolutely it.
Did I get it?
You get it. You get it. It's meant to be a community service, community space with some clinical services embedded, right? It's all about relationships. And one of the biggest things about the site is that this group of people actually, they get to come indoors.
Yeah.
They don't have to change to come indoors,
Yeah.
right? And they get seen.
Yeah.
They get seen not just by our medical system, but they get seen and attended to in a space that's safe, that they can call their own,
Right.
and that they can be in.
Right.
And we're not going to put there's certain broad ground rules that people agree to.
Right.
And that's cool. But other than that, it's like we don't want to put too many restrictions on folks. Be who you are in here.
Right.
And let's just get to know people,
Right.
And everything comes from there.
And one of the things, he was just giving a tour, and he was talking about different protocols, and obviously you have protocols for when somebody overdoses or somebody has a heart condition or seizure. But when somebody comes in with a dog,
Yeah, somebody comes in with a big pit bull, it's unmuzzled, that's their boon companion because they're homeless. You can't expect them to tie it up outside. You can't expect them to put their shopping cart with everything that they have on this earth outside and leave it out there. And so you don't want a bunch of dumb protocols around that stuff. It's just dumb, people.
Right, yeah.
So scratch the protocols and have a bunch of people who want to be there, right? Working
what do
there.
we do? Homeless person with dog.
Exactly.
You know?
D, okay, subsection.
Who do we
pit bull
call?
P. Get some people who want to be there and who like the people that they're working with, and get them to make an intelligent decision between their heart and their head, and make it work and discuss shit and just make it work.
Yeah.
And you do that, right? Around a variety of situations, whether that's dogs or people who are under tons of stress and really angry and trying to just chill that out, and you just make your decisions that way.
Yeah. So, just so many amazing things about Insight. Another one that I learned today was that you really have 3 levels of staff, even though you're all kind of equal.
We got 1 level of staff.
Right.
It's flat, but we got 3 different kinds of staff. And we got nurses here. You're having an overdose, that nurse takes the lead, and we've got non-clinical staff, which I'm one. I don't have a nursing degree. Shout out phone. But we will assist in those cases, and the non-clinical staff are managing flow. We're building relationships, doing referrals. Nurses can do referrals too, but the most important group are the drug users themselves that work in the post-injection room. This Insight is in their community, right? And this is their space, and they work here with such enormous commitment. It's unreal. So I can get a nurse and a non-clinical staff and a peer in the same room, and we won't tell you which is which, and you won't know which is which. That's the point. And what these peers also do is they mentor drug users from the area who want to work in the post-injection room, which we call, it's a bit dated, we call it the chill out lounge, right? But it's not complicated work, but actually getting into the workplace, getting into the workforce, having something to do is so important. That's healthcare. That's addiction treatment. That's just what people need in life. So the goal for these peer supervisors is to sort of bring these folks into the workplace and get them used to sort of being a part of something. What do you get from that? A good identity, something that you're connected with, some structure. It's therapeutic. And so that's just the best thing.
So you run around crazy. I don't know where you get the energy. And you put me in the nurse's station for a little bit.
Yeah.
And one of the nurses, she said, well, if you're going to stand here, you might as well work. And she
Awesome.
she says, okay, if they want water, you give them water. And then if and here's where the pencils are, and here's where the clips, and here's where the sponges, you know what I mean? And I almost burst into tears. I really did, because I mean, and I'm an ex-drug addict, and the first time I came in here, I didn't really understand what Insight was, and obviously I have a lot more understanding. And you have people from all walks of life. I think one of the things that really, I wish I could take every one of you here to visit, because one of the first things you'll notice, it's not your stereotypical drug addict. You have people that look like that housewife, that look like that suit and tie executive, to, you know, people that are just, oh my gosh, would be turned away by any medical facility. And one thing we were talking about earlier, I mean, if you go to a hospital, there's security guards.
It's not a hospitable environment for drug users or homeless people or folks with mental illness. Yep.
So you know, there's no other choice but to go behind that dumpster or into that alleyway, and you do the wrong stuff, you're going to die.
But also, it's like standing in a public toilet, because the same places people are hiding is also where people who are unhoused have to void themselves and take care of their functions. So I couldn't imagine a place that's less hygienic to try and find a vein. It doesn't make sense for people to be using in those situations. We can do better. Plus, you get all hidden behind a dumpster and, oh, I'm ODing, bang, I'm gone. Now being hidden really, really sucks. Right.
While I was here, one of the staff came in and said, "Hey, we need to be aware of this. This is coming through. You've had ODs in the past. If it wasn't for Insight, the people taking these drugs would die.
Overdoses kill so many people every year. This is happening all over North America.
You know what? I love what you said here. Nobody dies at Insight.
It's one of the great things about working here.
Nobody dies at Insight.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
I mean, that's just amazing. And I know the faith-based community, and a lot of people did, you know, that, oh my gosh, it's, you know, you're giving people drugs. No, they're saving lives. And these are people that might not have any other chance. I mean, it's,
yeah, I think there's something deeply Christian about saving lives, guys.
Big time.
And when somebody comes in here and they've been on their feet and haven't changed their shoes for 2 weeks, and you run a little tub of water and you put some Epsom salts in there and they can wash their feet and get some socks, that's just a pretty basic and awesome thing. And who's against that? You know?
I will talk to you guys all for hours about here. I wish I could come back and bring you all here. Sorry about this funky location. It's raining outside. It started getting dark. We're going to go in the aisle or in the alley. You haven't bumped your head. I'm impressed.
Sheer luck.
Staff here has fun. This is a hard job. I mean, oh my gosh, the gentleman out there in the wheelchair that I'm seeing right now, that you helped him with a can, and it just broke my heart. Broke my heart.
It's what people struggle with down here, and their burdens are incredibly harsh. They're incredibly harsh, and their backgrounds that they've come from are super harsh. But often, they don't want you to be all like sad-faced when you're here. They want to actually share some life. They want to talk about the things of life. They want to joke. Everybody tries to be creative and shit. It's amazing. So, again, bring some life to it, you know? And
the Portland Hotel Society, great that I don't edit these videos. Portland Hotel Society does, they have a bank. Who would have thought a bank? And, we were talking about it earlier. You just got to listen. You go to Skid Row, Los Angeles, you go to all these poverty places. There's all these check cashing places that are taking advantage. Yeah. You guys have a bank for people on the streets. It's
bank for the hard to bank.
That's brilliant. So check out Portland Hotel Society. Please be open-minded. Just be open-minded. I personally, an abstinent-based program worked for me, and it works for a lot of people. But as an outreach worker in Los Angeles, I know people that died because they would never go into an abstinent-based program, or an abstinent-based program wouldn't allow them in their lobby. And a program like Insight would have changed their lives. Would have saved their lives.
There should be more of this sort of program.
Yeah.
Because it helps people.
Thank you, everybody.
Cheers.